The Philippine government has already filed a second appeal for a judicial review of the case of Mary Jane Veloso, the Filipino drug convict on death row. Darlene Basingan tells us why.
The argument in the second appeal is that Mary Jane was a victim of human trafficking. Whatever we do now will not lead to a reopening of the case. It will just be to determine if the death sentence that was imposed is appropriate for the crime that was committed.
This is the statement made by the Department of Foreign Affairs through its spokesperson, Assistant Secretary Charles Jose, as he gives an update as to how far the government has gone through in assisting Mary Jane Veloso, who is now on death row. Supporters and relatives of Mary Jane also held a protest in front of the Indonesian Embassy to call on the Indonesian government not to continue the execution.
Ginagalang po namin yung kanyang pamamaraan ng kanyang kampo sa kanila. Pero po, paimbestigahan nyo naman po, wag naman po nyo kagad atulan ng kamatayan.
The camp of Mary Jane has not received yet a notice of execution from the Indonesian government. This is why the Philippines is hoping that Indonesia would review first the appeal before deciding whether it would push through with the execution. It can be noted that Indonesian government has earlier said that it would complete first all legal processes, including appeals before executing the drug convicts. The brother and live-in partner of Mary Jane are set to go to Indonesia to visit her. The camp of Mary Jane has also accused the Philippine government of not providing enough support, especially during the trial period of her case. But the DFA has this to say.
Well, mula pa lang nung nagsimula yung case, no? Nung starting nung arrest niya 5 years ago, nakatutok naman ang embassy dyan, no?
Jose adds that concerned government agencies have already filed cases of human trafficking, estafa, and illegal recruitment against those who put Mary Jane in danger. Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Abigail Valta meanwhile said the government is doing all it can to save her life from death.
Lahat po tayo, nasa gobyerno man o nasa pribadong sektor, ay umaasang magiging maganda pa rin po ang magiging resulta dito sa kaso ni Mary Jane.
Vice President Jejomar Binay has also sent the Philippines humanitarian appeal to the Indonesian government to remove Mary Jane from death row. Binay attended the Asia-Africa Conference in Indonesia, where he also met with Vice President Yusuf Kalla to express the Philippine humanitarian appeal for Mary Jane. It can be recalled that Indonesia earlier rejected Philippines' appeal for presidential clemency and its first appeal for judicial review for her case.
I had always reiterated to all the officials that I had talked to that we give the highest regard to the Indonesian government in its adherence to the rule of law and in its judicial process. So, if at all, let me just say it again, it's more of a humanitarian.
Darlene Basingan reporting for YN News.